boy, this will be no simple fire exit escape, will it? So anyway, hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 5 Remastered. This is Grace115 speaking, and I would very much like to welcome you to the grand finale, the Red Alert. Indeed, a very aptly named level, in which we are gonna get our hands on the final 21 pickups, raising the total pickups count to 239, unlocking the Hoarding Order achievement, which is ironic because there's one pickup, the large medbag in the previous level, which actually doesn't count towards this pickups count, so it should be 240, but later on that. We are also gonna land 13 in-game kills whilst actually dispatching 18 enemies, but we are gonna increase our kills count via 13, so we are gonna see 74, although in your own playthrough you should see 73, unless you trigger a bug which duplicates a kill in one of the earlier levels, like it happened to us. Furthermore, we are gonna find the remaining 3 secrets of the game, raising the total to 36. And when it comes to Breakables objects, guys, I have a lot of work ahead of me in terms of editing to figure out what I count as a breakable object and what I don't. Just know that I'm gonna put the achievable total on the screen, and we'll see at the end how we'll be doing in that regard overall. Now, achievement hunters, I have good news for you. Just like in the old mill level, we are also gonna unlock 6 achievements here, as is often the tradition for final levels of an entire run. So first of all, we are gonna unlock Waterminator for defeating the first cyborg, as the achievement says. Now, this is a hidden achievement, so you don't know this in advance, but there is gonna be a very tricky boss fight, and it's just one of many in this level. And if we're going through, we'll unlock this achievement. Then, we're gonna unlock Miss Croft, which is a brilliant name, for running past a panoramic windows corridor without taking damage from the same helicopter we've seen in the introductory cutscene in here, which is actually easier to pull off than you might think, but not if you are interested in all the pickups. That's a whole different story. Anyway, we are then gonna proceed to get the third and final secret of the game, unlocking Codex of VCI for collecting all secrets in the VCI headquarters levels, and also unlocking some really cool special features within the PlayStation 1 and original PC version of the game that I'm of course gonna include in this video, so you have that to look forward to. And then Gassassin for defeating the second cyborg. The name is a hint how to take it down, but again, this is a hidden achievement, so you don't know this in advance. And then we are gonna pick up the final pickup of the game, the item that this Gassasinated cyborg will drop, and unlock Hoarding Order for taking every collectible item in a single walkthrough. And then finally, for triggering the final cutscene and escaping, we're gonna unlock To Absent Friends, a very bittersweet name for an achievement after the memorial service is wrapped up by Charles Kane, Jean-Yves, Father Patrick, and Winston. Okay guys, but there's a lot we have to do first, and I would very much like to start with, you know what, Unsilenced, because everyone knows exactly where we are at this point, HK gun, and taking care of the first power armor guy, and like always, this does not increase our kill count, which is unfortunate. I guess you could say the fall killed him, not the shot. Oh yeah, you try to go any lower, this is exactly what's gonna happen. You also cannot go back to that lobby, although why on earth would we want to? And the idea essentially is that we try to make it to the top of the fire escape to the roof, but that's easier said than done. There is an invisible barrier here because if you turn on the originals, you'll see that this was just an optical illusion. The fire escape actually doesn't continue all the way there, okay? And I was thinking maybe we could take a screenshot of the helicopter here, but probably not. We're gonna have a better opportunity for that. Okay guys, be very careful how and where you step, because this fire exit is completely and utterly falling apart, which is not fun. Okay, but also let's be on the lookout. Oh my god. No helicopter yet. Whoa! Well, I heard dying gurgles, but I'm not sure who from. But there is... well, what? Okay, maybe from this angle at least. I wanted to take a shot of the helicopter in both its original and remastered glory, although I don't think we'll be able to turn on the light there much. You know what? It is what it is in the OGs, and I'm taking a picture. But you can see a mounted machine gun turret from the inside of that helicopter, so you actually want to stay behind cover. Now you can take an optional detour of sorts and climb back using the broken scaffolding into this opening over here. You can already probably not see but hear fire. This fire in fact is so small that it doesn't endanger Lara at all, which I find interesting. I thought they would actually fix this in the remaster, but no, they left it exactly as is. Just a fake little fire, and this marks the first secret. Now, let's climb back up, without falling down preferably. Oh boy, I'm still trying to think just how many times we'll save, and guys, I have to say, finishing this level is a real challenge without using a med pack. I never pulled it off before, but I was never as determined as I am now to avoid taking unnecessary damage. So we'll see, because there is a lot of damage you have to take, which is bloody unfortunate. Oh boy. Yeah, this is another fake fire, thankfully. And my friends, you will notice that this is where the fire exit broken off and we cannot continue. For that, we need a grappling gun. So Lara is gonna make a detour for a weapon that is completely new to the series, and I think absolutely fascinating in terms of how the game engine works, okay? Now, this is a bit tricky if we don't want to take damage. We need to act fast. It's just we don't exactly have the best camera angle for this. Lara, can you... Oh my god, grab it. Please. Oh, thank you. Now, let's quickly climb up. And up there is not just a security guard, but an actual soldier. Let me show you via the photo mode. These guys are new, so I want to take a picture. Look at him standing ready over there. I think maybe let's put an orb of light in here. Just a little. This looks like from something of a musical album cover art. Okay, and now we need to be really quick. Given how low on ammo we are, I want to handle this with as few bullets used as possible, and we have taken unnecessary damage, guys. This is not good.
This isn't quite what it seems.
And I knew you...
And you know what, guys? I'm gonna retry this again after we've taken picture. I'm gonna see you back at this spot, because this small amount of damage we took is unacceptable if we want to beat the level without using a med pack. Thank you, Lara. Now, by the way, holding action forward does not work. You need to manually jump to climb this thing, which is what led you to my slowdown. Okay, guys, quickly, let's go for the legs. Excellent. Remember, we don't want to land a headshot because that will not increase our in-game kill count as we established in the previous two levels. I'm making this so much difficult on myself not to use a med pack, but increase our in-game skills count.
Got a feeling this isn't quite what it seems.
And I knew you were just a pretty face. Try infrared on the shades, girl.
That's actually good advice, Zip. Thank you again. So anyway, see, he's a little bit better than he was in 13th floor. Now you may be wondering, why did we pick up a miniature rocket? It's not what it looks like. This is a grappling gun ammo. This capsule in it has a long rope we'll be able to use to do your favorite thing, rope swing. Oh yes, baby. Now, using infrared on these shades reveals the laser trap, but it doesn't really help us to move along. You know what I mean? For that, we actually need to have the audacity to break off the valve over here, okay? And now it's all about timing. I actually recommend... wait, we can get this close at least without catching on fire. And the moment it disappears, make sure to do a roll. That's the fastest move forward you can actually perform. But the tricky thing is that these laser traps have long off cycles and very short off cycles, but roll should get you through even the short ones. Okay, and the final one. Ooh, excellent. Okay, see, and this is what we'll be doing on our very unfortunate way back. Yep, we'll have to go through this again, which is not fun. Anywho, let's get the large med pack. And again, I want to avoid saving as much as possible, but I might have to repeat the whole game, the whole level from the beginning again, if we take damage. As soon as we approach the corridor over here, the elevator door will open and a soldier will come running out. Okay, that was pretty good, Lara. Thank you so much. Now this button doesn't really do anything once the elevator is already summoned here, so I guess we don't need to do that. But let's now closely watch the digits to see what floor we are getting into, and it looks like 24. Okay, not sure why that one, but that's okay. And now, throughout this corner, a soldier will appear. A sneaky little bastard. Whew, okay, didn't even get a chance, just like we like it. Okay guys, now one of the most dreaded areas of the game, absolutely notorious for its difficulty. Oh, I love this. Okay, first of all, you have a choice whether you just want to continue the level, or if you also want to access a completely optional armory that has the second secret in it. You need to unlock these via 2 shooting ranges. There's the easy one on the left and the difficult one on the right. Now, if you want to unlock the secret, you'll have to go through the difficult one as well. If you just want to continue the level, all you gotta do is beat the easy one, okay? So, for now, I would like to pick up the ammo over here. And I'm thinking whether to save now or... You know what? I should be good enough to do the first shooting range without saving. So let's press the button. And let's be ready. Sniper mode is your best friend here. And make sure to get all the targets before they have a chance to approach past this pipeline. If they do, you will have failed. This shooting range is, however, way more forgiving than the one over here. I am actually now gonna save the game because this is proper difficult stuff. So, Miss Croft, first of all, pick up the ammunition over here. This is very important. You can of course pick it up even afterwards, but that's actually gonna cost you extra health, and we wanna minimize the damage we take. Anyway, the trick to this is, the moment you press the button, zoom in, but not too much, and aim at the body mass, not at the headshot level, okay? This is gonna make it so much easier to hit all the targets, and the reason you don't want to zoom in too much is that this slows down your aiming speed. And now let's get out before we take too much damage. There we go, and this, my friends, is the reason why I first wanted to pick up the ammo over here. If we were to take extra few seconds inside, then we would take more poison damage. Yeah, someone thought it's an excellent idea to poison you as you're trying to shoot those targets. This is absolutely insane, but we've nailed it like professionals. The trick to this, again, is to zoom in ever so slightly, not too much, because if you zoom in like this, switching to targets is going to be a slow process and you're not going to make it in time, okay? So, let's pick up the ammunition and the second golden rose over here, which is absolutely bloody brilliant. And we also, as a consequence, have access to the right armory over there. But first, let's just admire all the shotguns and the Uzis. They're just teasing us. Weapons we cannot get, because the moment you approach this, you're gonna burn to a crisp. Although I'm pretty sure Lara wouldn't be able to pick them up anyway, so there's that. Anyway, inside the right armory over here, we get more HK ammunition, another grappling gun, rope capsule, and the one and only weapon we can actually get our hands on because it's in green, the grappling gun. But just notice the scoped revolvers over here. I mean, these are probably Tomb Raider 5 version of the revolvers, so much weaker than Tomb Raider 4, but still, what an incredible tease. Now, the moment you pick up the grappling gun, do not equip it, guys, because you cannot deal damage with this thing. Go back to your HK gun to dispatch the sneaky soldier over here. You bastard. You thought you could get the jump on us, eh? Now, I would like to explain how the HK gun works in a second. First of all, let me introduce you to a new type of enemy, the Commando. Oh, these guys. That's not a bad pose, actually. Just let me add a bit of light. Ooh, the floor hurts my eyes, but what you gonna do with these messed up OG graphics? You know what? Yeah, let's do it like this. This is better. A little bit more color in the shot. These Commando guys have helmets that protect them from headshots. Now, personally, I don't care. We're not doing headshots whenever we can help it, because we want the in-game skill count to increase, so just shoot them in the legs like you would any other soldier. I love the little... It's not a scorpion gun, no, this is something much more modern. A little submachine gun model, which I think is actually really gorgeous. Anyway, let's aim for the legs. Excellent. And this fella over here drops nothing, okay? That's a bit of a bummer. But I would very much like to introduce you to the HK gun. I actually think there's gonna be even a third piece of ammo on the highest crate over here. Oh yeah, but this is HK gun ammo, not grappling gun ammo. Anyway, grappling gun. This has, like the HK gun, replaced pistols using the weapons hotkeys, so number 1 on keyboard. HK gun has replaced shotgun, interestingly enough. So you press number 2 on keyboard or the shotgun shortcut on a controller, and you'll get HK gun. Now, you cannot fire it if you're not using the scope, so I'm hammering the action key and nothing is happening. Lara does not fire. Interestingly enough, you can only use it in its scope mode, and there's something cool I want to show you. Look at our ammo used statistic. We already established that if we use an HK gun, and we have 1421, we fire off a shot, it increases. But if we do the same thing in a scope, it doesn't increase due to a bug. Grappling gun, however, will increase even if you use a scope, which is interesting, just like the scope Desert Eagle or scoped revolver. So it's an HK gun specific bug. Now the way this works, you cannot just fire it willy-nilly. I'm again hammering the action key, nothing happens. Only if you target an eligible square, it will always fire it at the center of the square. So even if we are aiming at this corner of the square, Lara will fire it at the center. So it's a bit on rails, making sure you cannot softlock yourself in the level, okay? Now, one cool thing is that despite being a scope gun, our ammo used statistic has increased for the grappling gun. I'm sorry guys, most of you probably don't really give a damn about this sort of thing, but I absolutely do. I find this interesting. Okay, let's get the HK gun ready, because we'll be in a situation where we'll need it. And please, Lara, don't mess up the rope swinging now. That would make me very sad. Okay, you're clearly gonna need a little bit more momentum, but that's fine. That's exactly what I'm gonna give you. This is, in fact, shimmyable, if that wasn't clear enough. It's a little bit more obvious than it was in the originals, I have to admit, but still, it drew my attention. Like, I didn't need a guide to figure this out, but it's a little bit counterintuitive. And now, I know I've been saying this often in the New York levels because they're so brutal. Love them. But we might quite possibly be facing one of the hardest encounters in the game, but you have perhaps a little bit more time than you might think. Immediately, go into scoped view and take care of those jabroni. Perfect. The good thing is they are not only far away, but you are on a higher slope than they are, so they actually have trouble hitting you. Now, unfortunately, none of these fellas will increase our kill count, as you know, because these are headshots we can only take them down with. I just wanted to press the button, that's it. So anyway, guys, we were on the 24th floor. Let's see what the original one is. It should be... It's only floor 15? What on earth? Well, anyway. Now, get your HK gun ready, because there'll be a soldier. Ooh, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Oh my god. Where are you? What are you doing? He's just... Okay. There we go. I just need to lure him out with a shot. Vicious evil bastard. Okay. And now I have to go through this again, don't I? And if I mess up here, then I guess that means repeating the shooting range and everything, huh? Well, I'm gonna risk it. Anyway, rolling is the key to success here. Well, this is stressful. This is really stressful. You're supposed to wait for the long off cycles, not the short ones, but I just can't be bothered. I'm showing you can also do it when it goes off for a very brief moment when you're not supposed to be able to make it. And now... Oh no, that's too close! Okay. Okay. Okay, we're good, we're good. Why am I not saving again? Anyway, why do I care about that arbitrary number? Yeah. So anywho, guys, this entire part of the level was a side dungeon of sorts, just to get our hands on the grappling gun, okay? And with that, I'm wondering if I should save the game or not yet. Ooh, I don't know. I really don't know what the right course of action here is. Thankfully, this is a fake fire, so we don't have to worry about that. And again, just like before, the grappling gun will only work on this square, and it will center automatically to just the place you need it, okay? Now, do we make a standing or running jump here? You know what, guys? I think we've earned a save. After all, this is ridiculously difficult. Okay. Standing jump is the key to success. Now, this is tricky because if you're not careful, you can slide directly into fire. And this one is not fake like all the others. Yeah, it's not like the other fires. Okay, let's stay in a crawl over here, and hopefully I will not mess this up. This is a little bit tricky. But underneath us is a soldier who's all too keen on pressing a button that will summon a turret above us. Okay? Oh, not directly. Here is a turret. And there's a soldier, and if he notices us, he'll go and press this red button, which you actually cannot press, only he can. Not sure why you want to. So what we want to do is we want to find an angle to kill him from safely. And again, in a way that increases our kill count, and that means like shots. You know the drill by now. Excellent. I do hope that was not a headshot. I guess I'll find out when we check the in-game stats. But I want to keep it a secret until the very end. You have so much to look forward to in today's video, as you can probably tell by the timestamps, but yeah. I like to take my time with final statistics when we finish a playthrough. And this is the red button that would have summoned the turret, which is an unkillable enemy in this level, but it did not because we acted fast. Excellent. And now, let's pick up the large medpack, and we get the one and only peaceful moment of the entire level. Just this absolutely gorgeous panoramic view of Manhattan, and no, these windows are not breakable. There will be breakable windows later on in a very similar looking corridor. Okay, so now... oh boy, we're going into the lobby of death. There have been quite a few lobbies of death in this building, but this one really takes the cake. This is floor 39, which means it's very close to the top. That's the highest number we can do. Unfortunately, as you can see, this is the rooftop exit, but it's locked. We need a key that consists of 2 separate key items, wielded by one of the most powerful creatures Lara has ever faced. Anyway, watch out the windows. And I think... wait a second, we can't... no, we can't break them. Someone else will have to, so I guess I cannot count them in the breakables count. But now, guys... commander over there, soldier over there. Oh, thank God. My aim was a bit terrible, but they did not hit us. Ooh, okay, that's not Lara aiming at anyone. That is more akin to her trying to draw attention to something. So, behind this door is the level end. Lara's access to freedom and the roof glider she left when she entered the 13th floor originally, okay?
No.
We need 2 key items to combine a really cool looking VCI key. And for that, we need to reach the shaft over there. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe it'd be even better like this. This is kind of an absolute death trap. Let's see. The moment we reach the crate over there, make sure to get your gun out, turn. Oh no, not yet. Oh, that's so vicious. I thought it would work. So here's the gist, and depending on how we'll do, that's how much damage we'll take, so I absolutely need to save the game here. I'm okay increasing our saves games count for the sake of not using a medpack. You need to open this like you would a trapdoor. Okay, maybe a little step forward. And now above us, and also behind us, there's a commando, which is vicious. This guy doesn't seem like he can shoot us yet. I think that was good. Guys, tell me, was that good or was that not? I guess we'll find out one way or another, huh? Not sure how I could have done that better. So anyway, we took some damage from these 2 guys. And now... oh, this is vicious. See the button? Nope, we are not gonna get to press it. No sir, no ma'am. Okay, above is a ladder which we can already use to come back, but there is no point without the roof access keys, okay? First, we need to get our hands on those delicious keys, and... I mean, this is actually good that these entrances are blocked off. Caution, high voltage inside, keep out, danger, wear protective gloves. The only option is this, another helipad access, which gives Lara's false sense of hope. These actually navigate you. The way the laser traps are set up will always tell you where you can go, and you also cannot go into this corridor yet. For now, let's focus on the Waterminator achievement, because in this side chamber will be the room with the first Terminator we need to take down. And this is one of the weirdest boss fights in the game, if I'm being honest. First of all, I think I actually recommend going for the burst mode here. But let's see, let's hide behind this crate, and I want to know... where's the cyborg? Okay. Rather creepy looking fella. Looks like Agent 47. Okay, so... let's always, with the burst mode, take a few shots and then side jump to avoid him shooting at us. Make sure to do it quickly enough. Oh my god, did not expect him from that side. Because even once you're already behind this crate and he starts firing, you can take damage through the crate. It's a little bit odd. And don't worry if you run out of ammo, on the crate is an infinitely respawning ammo pack, ensuring that you're not going to be without it because you cannot continue the level without HK gun ammunition in this situation. As you can see, he's gradually falling apart, but at some point his health bar will stop depleting, which is a problem. Okay. I think, guys, this might be it. Let me just, for a good measure, shoot him a little bit more. And what I would also like to do, now that he's in this semi-destroyed state, I would love to take a picture, because this truly shows them for what they are, these cyborgs, mindless Terminator-like killing machines wearing Desert Eagle. Look, you can see the eye. I love the fact that they actually gave them a stubble and a beard, you know, like, they need to be classy. Okay, they had a bit of a wider bloated head like this in the OG, that's a bit funny. But honestly, I think I prefer the original look, because look at this expression. They have murder on their mind. This, however, is just completely bland. I don't know, I prefer the original look to them. And now what we need to do, given his health bar, I think, hopefully, I'm not gonna mess this up. Let's switch to sniper mode. And let's shoot the valve that's over there very quickly, and this should finish the job. Excellent. Waterminator defeat the first cyborg. And like I said, this pile of ammunition over here is endlessly respawning, so we don't have to worry about that. And what the cyborg did is he dropped the first half of the key we need to get, okay? There's also a large medbag over here. Now guess what happens if you try to pick it up, or the medbag? You're gonna die due to electricity coming from his body in this water. So what we want to do instead is use these slides and just hold the jump button, couldn't be easier, to make it here. Never works when facing forward, but when facing backwards, this always seems to work for me. And over here is a grappling gun ammo, very easy to miss, which is also endlessly respawning, by the way. And now all we have to do is aim at this tile and this rope. And my goodness gracious, guys, please don't get tricked like I did. Don't do a jump on it from here. It's way too close, Lara's gonna overshoot. Make sure to hop back and now grab the rope, okay? Because the ropes are essentially 2D sprites, it's kind of difficult to have a proper depth perception. And hold the action, don't trust that grate. And this will drain the water out so that we can reach the ground safely. However, it also has the nasty habit of closing our only way out. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky like that. So let me show you what I mean. See, that duct is now closed. So let's now... Oh, no. Damn it, Lara. I did not want you to grab the rope, but I guess that's on me. You will notice something, and that's that the grappling ammo over there has respawned, and I want to show you that it will not work to arbitrarily increase our pickups count. We are at 233. And if we pick it up, we are at 233, yeah? You, from this point on, don't need the grappling gun. So it doesn't really matter that it's loaded, but the ammo is only gonna respawn if the game does a check and your grappling gun ammo is 0. Same thing for the HK gun ammunition down there, okay? So I think the best way to get down safely is just, yeah, let's do this. And now we can get both the medipack and the key the cyborg dropped. Don't worry, the jolts of electricity coming from his twitching body will not actually hurt Lara. It's a little bit unnerving, I'll be honest. Okay, now, can we do a series of jumps again like before to take us back up? Excellent. Okay, awesome. And now we'll need to flick the switch again, so the ideal grabbing distance for this rope is to hop back and then make a standing jump forward. Excellent. Oh, we are so close to saving our game. I can't believe it. Imagine playing this with save crystals. I would actually appreciate that as a veteran. But I don't think anyone else would. Okay. And we are nearing the end of the level, in fact. Although we've only unlocked the first of the 6 achievements. Yeah, it's structured like that. And I would like to do something cool here. Woohoo! And there we go. If we were to touch the water, that'd be the end of us. But Lara's way too cool for that. Anyway, since we no longer really need the grappling gun, I'm gonna get the HK gun ready. And I'm now gonna show you how to unlock the second achievement of the level, which is aptly named Miss Croft, okay? So let me maybe explain the gist of what's gonna happen in this corridor of doom. So, sprint, 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 we are being shot at via an assault chopper. And as we're being shot at, these canisters are being broken, but all you have to do is reach this corner lobby for Miss Croft achievement to unlock. And this is why I said this achievement is really easy. The trick is in not destroying these canisters first. Okay, guys? But now, if you are like me interested in all the pickups, it's not gonna be that easy. I'm sorry. The achievement was, and now the hard part begins. So guys, this is how I like to do things. I'm not gonna let the helicopter have the pleasure of destroying these 3 windows and the 3 sets of canisters over there. This has the unfortunate consequence of blowing up all the windows and the floor tiles, but the very final one over here. And honestly guys, unless we want to stop and take a ton of damage, I don't think we can be the ones destroying this window. We'll see, maybe I'll think of something. But for now, that's a price I'm willing to pay for not using a medpack. Let's sprint past the first stage and jump over the first bit. And comfortably fall down here and crouch. Woo, that was a bit of a close call. Lara, you're literally turning the wrong way. Anyway, let's now make it for the large medipack over here. Thank you, Miss Croft. And now please guys, don't save and reload inside this corridor because it tends to reposition the helicopter in a way which allows it to shoot at you despite this block of concrete. It's a little bit odd. And now you know what to do. Ah! Oh, nice. And the first stage is behind us, my friends. It's only gonna get so much worse now. For this one, I actually recommend aligning Lara perfectly forward, and the way you can do that is grabbing this, falling down, and turning. And I don't like the sound of helicopters shooting at us, so I'm gonna save the game here, and let's see if I mess up. Ah! No! Oh, that was way too much damage. It tends to have a few breaks in its shooting rhythm. How? How is this happening? I mean, we are not taking damage, but still, how? Okay, now, back Damn it, Lara. Why are you so clumsy? Why you be that way? Let's roll. Okay, yeah, we have half our health remaining, which I'm not too happy about, but I think theoretically past this point we don't have to take damage. Well, that remains to be seen. Oh god, and I just took damage. And this window has been broken by the helicopter. Unless, of course, I can try something else. Okay, guys. It's not gonna get better than this. Let's pray to RNGesus and... Oh, somehow we got shot at a little bit less than last time. I guess that's a small victory. Now what I gotta do is make it to the very edge and go. Oh, no, there's the shot. I would like to break this window before the helicopter. I can die peacefully now, I think. Anywho, let's run into the corner lobby. Whew. And from here, we can absolutely take out these champagne sets over here for rich executives. If Lara's not gonna have champagne, no one's gonna have champagne. That's it. I mean, the helicopter can do the job for you, but, you know, I take great delight in this. And now, guys, oh, this is gonna get so bad. We need to sprint into the corner lobby and away. And again, I'm gonna save the game here because we've managed to done the impossible. We have picked up the large medpack here, and we have picked up the large medpack here, whilst only, quote-unquote, losing half of our health, okay? And now, let's already hold the sprint key as you enter the lobby, and crouch. This way, you'll literally dive for cover as you move along. Those cabinets will explode. Actually, not by the helicopter fire, but by Lara's proximity. That's how they programmed it. And now Lara thinks she'll just press the button and use an alternate escape. Well, double gotcha. This one's broken as well. Yep.
You get used to it.
She sounds happy, though.
Now, I got you an exit, but you gotta stop, not shout.
Now, Zip, we can't possibly make that promise. Anyway, hold the sprint key and run. But... triple gotcha. Another Terminator is here, and this time we don't really have water to take care of him. Oh my god. Actually, that was pretty decent, but let's see now. Him and the helicopter are shooting at us. Okay, and now sprint, because we also, inside this unfamiliar territory, need to trap the cyborg. Now, we get a really cool shot from underneath this grate to what's happening up top. He'll be passing along, and the moment he crosses that threshold, press the lever to trap the bastard inside. Oh, thank God we did it. But that doesn't mean we actually took care of the cyborg. Oh no. The difficult part is still ahead of us. The good thing is it trapped him from both sides, okay, so he cannot leave. Now, again, using these red laser traps, they're actually redirecting us always the correct way. And now we need to enter a room full of poison. And this is why throughout the entire level, we've been trying to save as much health as we possibly could. And for this, guys, I'm gonna have to make a save again, because a lot can go wrong. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna show you a neat trick. Sprint, now dive down, so the poison cannot take effect, because if you are down to the ground, the poison cannot reach you. It's only when you stand up, and you have to when transitioning through these ramps, that's when it will deal damage to you, okay? Excellent. So as you're on the floor, you are actually safe. And I'll sprint again to the final room. And my friends, we are at least gonna cheer ourselves up somewhat via picking up the third and final secret of the level and of the game and unlock the Codex of VCI and really cool special features if you're playing the original PC or PlayStation 1 version of the game. Okay, that feels great. Now what we have to do is in fact climb up here and therefore be exposed to the poison and take some damage, which I'm not a fan of. But that was a nice transition from a crawl to this. Okay, and now dive down, Miss Croft, and from now, as we recovered from the poison, the moment you're gonna return to the previous rooms, you're gonna be ambushed by 2 commandos. For now, guys, the safest course of action is not to fight them whilst you're also being poisoned, but to just outrun the bastards. Let's see. Ah! Okay. That should do the trick quite nicely. And now what I want to do is come here and kill the final cyborg and unlock the Gassassin achievement. Okay, the poison left our room and entered his, and now you'll see his health bar gradually decreasing, which is such an incredibly cool and satisfying addition to the remasters. But I also want to keep my eyes on the door over there in case a commando will come out. And there we go, Gassassin is ours, and now we need to go and grab that key, okay? The problem is, guys, to do that, you'll have to poison yourself again via redirecting the poison back to us. But before we do that, I think we can at least try and take care of the 2 commandos. Oh, we cannot. Never mind, because the door is locked. Well, isn't this just wonderful? Anyway, this is now the final stretch of the journey, so I'm gonna save the game here yet again, if you're gonna forgive me pretty please, because a lot can go wrong with 2 commandos and a poison. Okay, so, Lara, can you hold your breath for this period of time, pretty please? No? Would that be too much to ask? Now one of these guys should be stuck behind the door. And remember, we want to shoot the legs. They're immune to headshots. Oh my god, look how little health we have. This is what it's been all about throughout the level. Oh, I think we barely made it. This is insane. Now guys, we need to re-unlock the room. The poison is still in our body, but it should disappear anytime now. We did it. Oh my god, we did it. We are still at risk of dying and being shot at. But this is still pretty good. Let's go and grab the other key, and my friends, I would just like to celebrate the fact that we are gonna pick up the very final pickup of the game. There we go, Hoarding Order, take every collectible item in a single walkthrough. Yes, and that means we have one final achievement to unlock that we cannot really even fail, and that's just finishing the level, right? We cannot fail this, right? Well, I think the attack helicopter over here has somewhat different idea. It's poised and ready to hit us, and unfortunately, because of the red lasers, it's the only way we can escape. So guys, what do you think? Can we do this? I'm not saving the game now. I'm going for it. Miss Croft, may fortune favor the extremely foolish. Oh my god. That wasn't as cool as I imagined in my head, but we did it! Yes! Guys, we've beaten Red Alert without using medpack. They said it could not be done, but we've proven them wrong. Actually, no one told me it cannot be done, but I like to be dramatic sometimes when I'm happy, you know? Okay, we can still technically die. There is still a drop I can mess up, I guess. But yeah, we should be good. Oh boy. Okay, Miss Croft, there we go.
Yeah, girl, you done good.
You know what, Zip? I'm happy to hear you.
Get your bony ass out of there. And hey, you stay in touch, yeah? Maybe we're gonna be 10 friends.
Bony ass. I doubt it, but I'll be in touch. Maybe Area Yank. I'm coming out.
Hold on. She's coming. Okay, so now let's combine the two parts of the key, and before we insert it, I actually want to save the game here ceremoniously to have access to the final stats screen. Guys, I'm not going to reveal the final stats just yet. You know, I like to do a bit of a ceremony at the end of each video. First, I'm going to show you the end of the game, and then we're going to look at the series when it comes to final stats so far, so you have that to look forward to.
To absent friends. Indeed.
May God rest her soul.
Mr. Van Croy! Mr. Van Croy! Come quickly!
What is it, man? What have you found? Pass it to me. Pass it to me. We've found her.
Werner, I'm really sorry. That's not Lara. That's her backpack. Is anyone from the hired help gonna break the news to him? I think he's been under the sun for too long. Anyway, guys, I promised you sort of a final stats deep dive. That's the reason I wanted to keep the final statistics screen a secret when we finish the Red Alert level. And as is the tradition now, whenever we wrap up a Let's Play series, I would like to do a recap of all the previous core era entries just for an interesting comparison. Starting with Tomb Raider 1. Tomb Raider 1 Unfinished Business Expansion, Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider 2 The Golden Mask expansion, including the Nightmare in Vegas stats, Tomb Raider 3, including All Hallows level with a fixed pickups count, Tomb Raider 3 The Lost Artifact expansion stats, and now combined stats for the entire Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remastered package, including all the expansions. This will be interesting to compare when I'll do the exact same thing for the Darkness Trilogy final stats after we wrap up Angel of Darkness. Then Tomb Raider 4, The Last Revelation final stats. And let's not forget the Times exclusive level, a small addition. The correct kill count is supposed to be 14, but we seem to have triggered some glitch that we also encountered in the base level of Tomb Raider 5. Talking about Tomb Raider 5, I think it's time now to reveal the final statistics, so let's take a look at it. And it's not exactly earth-shattering or anything. I mean, we've expected this. This is such a short game, the shortest and smallest one of the main series, and honestly, I still like to call Tomb Raider 5 more of a really big expansion pack for Tomb Raider 4 rather than its own separate entry. Nevertheless, guys, I would like to take things from top to the bottom, starting with the time taken. It's been 5 hours, 6 minutes and 59 seconds as I pause the stat screen on the very final square of the game of the Red Alert level. So guys, this means that Tomb Raider 5 gets the first place in terms of the shortest Tomb Raider game ever. Well, it depends. See, when we originally finished our Tomb Raider 1 remastered run, we were at 5 hours, 39 minutes and 9 seconds. Very close contender indeed. However, I had to then rerun the Colosseum and all future levels because of one bat that suddenly became killable mid-playthrough, and we did not unlock the achievement for landing all the kills because patch screwed us up. That rerun was significantly shorter at 4 hours, 54 minutes and 32 seconds, so depending on if you consider my Let's Play Proper series run, Tomb Raider 5 was still shorter than Tomb Raider 1, but if you consider my rerun for all the kills, then Tomb Raider 1 was actually shorter. But what that means is that the runtime for these two games is very similar, which I was not expecting at all. As far as distance traveled is concerned, 22,076 meters equals 11,933 game squares. That is essentially less than 1/3 of the previous game Tomb Raider 4. Now, when we take all that into consideration, Tomb Raider 5 is at the final spot, the last place of all the mainline series with the least amount of distance traveled. The only one that tops it next is Tomb Raider 1 with 19,222 squares. However, it needs to be said, I guess, that Tomb Raider 5 still tops the Unfinished Business, the Golden Mask and the Lost Artifact expansions, and of course the time's exclusive level. When it comes to ammo used, this is where it gets a little bit messy. The game would have us believed we are at 1482 shots fired, but as I explained back in 13th floor level, whenever you fire shots using your scope from your HK gun, your ammo used will not increase. This is a bug that was present in the original and was unfortunately not fixed for the remasters. No other scoped weapon has this issue. So, pretty much since 13th floor level till the very end, I had to keep track of our ammunition used count manually, and since we altogether fired 517 HK gun shots and 3 grappling gun shots, that essentially means that I need to add up 520 shots to our old mill ammo use statistic, resulting in 1931 real shots fired. Was this a necessary workload on my part to bring you this statistic? Maybe not, but hey, we've beaten the Times exclusive with 153, and we've actually beaten the Lost Artifact expansion, which only had 1370 shots. I guess we put shotgun to a good use there. So it's not at the very bottom, but it is at the bottom of the main series. However, it is then quickly succeeded by a Golden Mask expansion with 3,972 shots, because there we are using automatic weapons. An important disclaimer, since Tomb Raider 4, I cannot really tell you what our accuracy is, as the actual shots hit are no longer counted via the game. Such a downgrade in terms of in-game statistics. Now, moving on to my greatest disappointment and failure, the health packs use statistics. See, I wanted to do a clean run like we did with Tomb Raider 1, 3 and the Lost Artifact expansion and Tomb Raider 4 and keep it at 0. Unfortunately, Escape with the Iris, what I consider to be the hardest level of the core era Tomb Raiders, had different plans. We sacrificed using 2 entire large medpacks to pick up 3 large medpacks. I guess a worthwhile trade-off, but still it hurts. Yeah, unfortunately, we now tied to the very bottom of the list with Tomb Raider 2 in terms of horrible, awful medpacks usage throughout the game, and that's 2 large medpacks in Tomb Raider 2 as well. Although in that game, given how long it is and how many enemies that shoot back there, I think it's kind of justified. But here, just single level completely screwed us over. Nevertheless, guys, interesting thing, we haven't managed to do that for the Unfinished Business expansion, where we used 1.5 medipacks. So anyway, Tomb Raider 5, you hit the bottom of the list, matching with Tomb Raider 2. As it pertains to the pickups, this is surprisingly straightforward, 239 out of 239. This is incorrect, it should actually say 240 out of 240, but for some reason the one large medipack tied to Sweet Dreams achievement does not count towards the total pickup, a very odd decision that I disagree with. But anyway, it should be 240, and that's what I'm gonna compare it to other entries. And whilst beating the Times exclusive level and actually in-game matching the Unfinished Business expansion, which is also 239, but I would say we exceeded it because it's supposed to be 240, we are then exceeded via Golden Mask with 331 and even Lost Artifact with 264. So this makes Tomb Raider 5 the bottom of all the mainline entries in terms of the number of pickups. This is not really surprising given its length. When it comes to kills, this is an absolute mess, an absolute disaster to keep track of. This is even more convoluted than it was in much longer Tomb Raider 4. And I'm gonna get to the nitty-gritty why. First of all, we should not be at 74 kills. If you followed my guide to the letter to maximize your in-game skill count, you should have 73 in-game kills. However, just like in the Times exclusive level, we have triggered some kill duplication glitch, which doubled the kill count for a single enemy we've defeated in the base level. So something goes wrong in the Tomb Raider 4-5 engine when it comes to the in-game skills count. However, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now what the game should actually consider in-game kills should reach the number 93, and I am now gonna make my case where the discrepancy happened. Unfortunately, it all started at the second level already, Trajan's Market. See, the game gives you 2 kills for defeating Larson and destroying the Sword Legionnaire statue. I don't think Larson should count, we did not kill him afterwards. What I think should count is the Mars head and the 3 Hydra heads separately. So I think we should in fact have 5, not 2 kills. Moving on to the submarine level, everything was fine up until the cook whom we killed with a crowbar, which again the game doesn't want to count, but I absolutely do, and we should have 13 rather than 12 kills. Then, inside the labyrinth level, there are 6 unkillable enemies, but remember Lara banishes 5 of the phantom skeletons. I personally would consider very creative environmental kills, but the game doesn't, of course. Now, moving on to the 13th floor, this is where it gets really messy. What I would absolutely count, and what we absolutely killed, are 4 of the 5 power armors, or 2 guns as they are called officially, inside the level. The problem is, headshots don't increase your in-game skill count, but they should if it wouldn't be bugged, and that's why I think we've killed 19, not 15 enemies in this level. When it comes to the escape with the Iris, again, this is I guess free for interpretation, but I think whenever Lara takes someone down with a chloroform, she wrings their neck. You can clearly hear it inside that cutscene. And that's why I think we've killed not 1 guard, but 3 guards, because 2 of them we took down with chloroform and heard Lara wringing their necks. And that's where I think the discrepancy happened. And finally, red alert, there is 5 kills discrepancy here, and it's the 3 power armors that we took down, again via headshots which don't count, but I would also consider environmentally taking down the 2 cyborgs a kill, which again the game doesn't, and this is where the discrepancy happens. So that's 20 kills overall. The game decided not to count, but it should, and I think we should be at 93 kills. Out of how many, you ask? To answer that properly, let's do a recap of all the enemies that we were unable to kill. In the very first level, Streets of Rome, we were of course unable to kill Larson because he escapes when his health bar drops. Then, moving on to the deep sea dive, there were 3 unkillable mini-submarines, then almost the entire demonic population of the Republic of Ireland, 5 changelings in Gallows Tree, then 1 werewolf inside the labyrinth, 2 changelings inside the old mill along with 1 underwater hag. Moving on to New York, we were unable to kill 1 of the 5 power armors because this guy was sort of walking in and outside a cutscene where we found the very first secret, but he was not actually defeatable in any shape or form. 1 orange hazmat suit worker behind the glass whom we could not kill, and finally 4 undestructible turrets were in the level. Then when it comes to the escape with Iris, guys, with the exception of 3 guards, every single other turret or armed personnel, be it a power armor wielder or a guard, was unkillable, so there's where overall 12 unkillable enemies. And when it comes to the red alert level, there is 1 turret inside the storage room and the helicopter that was chasing us at the beginning next to the fire exit, and at the very end in the death lobby, those were unkillable. So add that all together and we are essentially at 33 unkillable enemies, making the total enemies we've encountered in this game 126. And we have properly dispatched in one shape or form 93 of them. So how does Tomb Raider 5 rank compared to other games in this regard? It doesn't look good for Tomb Raider 5. In fact, the only game it beats, if we can call it a game, is the Times exclusive level with its 14 kills. Then there's Tomb Raider 5, and then every single expansion after that and every single mainline game has more kills than you can achieve in Tomb Raider 5. This is hardly surprising because the entire island chapter and actually one of the 3 New York levels, you are without guns. So it is what it is, but honestly it led to some incredibly fun and creative problem solving. Now when it comes to the secrets found, we have found all 36 of them. This marks, yep, you guessed it, the final spot for Tomb Raider 5 amongst all the mainline entries. However, it needs to be said, it is still more secrets than any other expansion or times exclusive level, so it's almost bridging the gap between the main games and the expansions in this regard. Underneath Tomb Raider 5, we have Golden Mask and Lost Artifact tied at 15, and above Tomb Raider 5, we have Tomb Raider 1 at 45, so relatively close, I guess, to Tomb Raider 1. Now on to my guilty pleasure, all the stuff Lara can break inside these levels, which is a ton of fun for me to keep a track of. We are at a grand total of 92 destroyed objects out of 107. There are a couple of types of objects I decided to completely remove from the equation, and what I mean by that are changes in geometry, like the broken vent inside 13th floor, the different catwalks inside the beginning of Red Alert, or even entire floors disappearing after explosions in the Red Alert level inside the helicopter corridor of death, simply because changes in geometry like this are more of an intentional level design and flip maps working rather than outright destructible objects. Maybe you agree with this approach, maybe you don't, but at least want to be consistent in this regard. So taking that into consideration, and also the fact that some objects we could not destroy, like the bombed suitcases, because that would essentially mean us dying, or some objects being destroyed by our enemies, like the rooftop glass via the commando, the glass cabinets inside the corner lobby via the helicopter, or even the aquariums inside the escape with the iris level destroyed by security guards. These I cannot count towards our achieved breakable count, but I can count them towards the total that we, I guess, would have achieved if we had a bloody gun with us. So that essentially took us to 92 out of 107. In terms of ranking, actually Tomb Raider 5 sits in the respectable middle. It succeeded both Tomb Raider 1 and Tomb Raider 3 with its 51 destructible objects, although if we were to count all the hex from which Atlanteans hatch as destroyed objects, we would make it to 69 in Tomb Raider 1, which would be nice. However, still, it wouldn't change the ranking for Tomb Raider 5. It is then topped via Tomb Raider 2's 174 destructible objects, and then Tomb Raider 4 with 289 is unsurprisingly at the top. And needs to be said, Tomb Raider 5 tops the times exclusive level and all the expansion packs in terms of breakables. Anyway guys, that's it for my final stats deep dive. These are the final statistics for Tomb Raider 5 I can absolutely sign off on, and let's now together take a look at the special unlockable features for both the original PC and the original PlayStation 1 version, because these differ more than ever before. Alrighty guys, so back in the main menu of the original PC release of Tomb Raider 5, I would very much like to show you the final bit of special features. Again, we need to re-unlock this via loading a save file. This one should be from 3 years back essentially. And now that the game is aware that we have all the secrets in the game, we should be able to go back to the main menu. And you know the drill by now, back to options, special features, and we've been through both storyboards and the next generation concept art for Angel of Darkness, and now we have a gallery. This one is Tomb Raider 5 centric. So the first shot shows us the Zapadnaya Lica at night, but without all the snow and Lara's binocular filters, which I think is interesting. We see a couple of watchtowers, trucks, fence, boats ready. No signs of a nuclear submarine yet, which is pretty damn interesting. Moving on, this is the opening shot of that Russian chapter FMV. We've seen it in the game pretty much. Now this is from Ireland, and this I think is Lara's room inside Winston's dilapidated hut. There's a bit of light source going there, and the window is already open, so it's safe to presume Lara already made her escape. And now this is a shot of the Croft Manor's opening lobby, which I think is really fun to compare with the main menu flyby shot of the Croft Manor, where Charles Kane is browsing books. It's very dark, very lacking in light, I think. There should be a central chandelier or something like that. but since this is a memorial service happening right as we're shown this Croft Manor, they wanted a bit of a more moody lighting. Now, what we see is a boat at which Jean-Yves was waiting for Lara to literally resurface and rescue her after her adventure with the Spear of Destiny inside the Russian nuclear submarine. And now we see the tea room where Winston, Charles, Kano, Jean-Yves and Father Patrick were all sipping tea and occasionally looking at the fireplace, the painting of the German submarine, all looking out of the window. Okay, and this is again back to Winston's house. It's odd how ordered these pictures are, you know, they're not tied to a specific place but all over the place. This is so much more better illuminated than what we've seen in the FMV. There is an actual oil lamp above the table, which we could even see maybe Winston's face and Father Patrick's if they were actually sitting here, and I think some food in the distance over there, and stairs leading up. Maybe Lara's room was... No, it wasn't upstairs, it was downstairs, so that could be an attic or Winston's room. Now, this is a corridor from the Great Pyramid of Giza, where Von Croy and the little boy were walking through since the discovery of her backpack. Why that is a particularly exciting discovery, I don't know, discovering the backpack without Lara, but that's fine. Maybe it gave them hope she escaped, because there's nobody. And this is the interior shot of the German World War II era submarine from the FMV, but minus all the soldiers working around. And this is a freeze frame of Lara's binocular shot watching the car with Sergei approaching Zapadnaya Lica base. We can see all levels operative, buffer size, zoom level, and none of this makes any real sense. What kind of interface for binocs is this? But it does seem to have a bit of a night vision feature, which I think is pretty cool. Now, this is the interior of the FMV version of Zip's van, and look at all the heavy equipment he has in there. Mind you, this is all taking place in, what was it, 1999? So must have been, yeah, May 1999 according to the security screen. So within the same year, Lara went through this adventure, Tomb Raider 3 and The Last Revelation, it seems. And yeah, we see what I can only call a very ancient radio equipment on the left, modern recording equipment on the right, and plenty of unnecessary screens and what I think are brain scans in the top right corner. Maybe that's supposed to be a chart showing the iris and different energy levels, but it looks like a brain scan from all sorts of sides. And of course, cans of soda, no traces of a burger, interestingly enough. I'm starting to doubt Zip's American nationality since there's no burger. Now, this is a rooftop view of VCI building, so this thing, as we learned in today's level, should have 39 or 40 floors, roughly. And this is a promotional shot of the Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles, but the young Lara rather than the older Lara, but this really takes me to the Ireland atmosphere, which is pretty cool. And I don't think you need my commentary for this. This was part of the very aggressive marketing campaign in 90s. And this is, of course, the actual promotional shot. Imagine if they chose this instead. That would raise the age rating, wouldn't it? And this is Lara in her terribly looking FMV catsuit. Interestingly enough, in the remasters, which I actually really appreciate, they decided to use her FMV catsuit render as a selectable costume, which actually looks incredibly different from the one in-game. And now this is Lara in her opera dress. I absolutely love this outfit. I'm still heartbroken this was not a selectable outfit in the remasters, but what can you do? Heck, modders managed to pull it off in the old Tomb Raider 5 level editor, in fact. And this, I think, is Lara with very big eyes, and what they were going for here was to show that this is her render from the Rome adventure once she switches from her opera dress into her Tomb Raiding outfit. And I guess they thought bigger eyes means younger Lara, and it's one of her earliest adventures before even Tomb Raider 1, so I think that was the idea here. Then this is the memorial service statue, and this is of course one of the promotional shots, which they remastered and touched up as a loading screen for the sinking submarine level, which I think is awesome. And now, this one's odd. I'm led to believe this was a promotion with some jewelry company. You know, just like the Timex watch, they also accepted sponsorship from some jewelers, and this is the result of that sponsorship, but I cannot tell you what brand it is. And there is Lara, again in her opera suit. You can see her wearing stockings, and this is making me blush, so I think I'm just gonna switch on to the next one. And this is Lara in her Russian camo outfit, which is pretty cool. Look how happy she is about miserable winter in Zapadnaya Lica on the border with Norway. And this, my friends, the final shot we get as an unlockable feature in the PC version is what was also repurposed into a loading screen for the escape with the iris level of the Tomb Raider 5 Remastered. I don't know, personally I feel this would have made a better loading screen for Red Alert, because that's when the helicopter actually hounds and chases us, not an escape with the iris, but this is how they decided. Anyway guys, that's it for the PC version, and now I have the pleasure, no, the honor really, of showing you the absolutely spectacular unlockable in the PlayStation 1 version. So let me do a transition now. Alrighty guys, and just like on PC, you know the drill by now. We need to load a save file where we have all the secrets unlocked, otherwise we don't even get to select the special features submenu. Okay, I sped things up somewhat. We can now go right back into it, speed things up. The choice of emulation, and now we have the special features on, with both storyboards which are identical to PC. Next generation concept art had some extra artwork compared to PC version, but rather than having a Tomb Raider 5 specific gallery, we now have the next generation preview. So, I would now like to show you this absolutely fantastic video showing Lara frolicking around Louvre in Angel of Darkness. I'm not gonna lie, I am in mood for some AOD. Nevertheless guys, thank you, you've been a wonderful audience sitting through all these special features at the end of each chapter, and now we've already tackled the final steps deep dive, we've tackled the special features for the other versions of the game. What's next is that I would like to take a very brief look at our achievements plan, because I always like to celebrate the kind of progress we made. We've unlocked all of them but one. Let me show you what I mean. So guys, I just wanted to go back to a very brief look at the achievements plan I proposed back in January when we started the series. It's not much of a plan, it was way more complicated for previous entries. But now let's just celebrate the fact we did step 1, that is beating the entire game and unlocking all 48 achievements, with the exception of one, and that is for beating the game again on New Game Plus, the 49th achievement that's also gonna net you a Platinum trophy if you're playing on PlayStation 4, no such luck on PlayStation 5 or other platforms. Okay guys, I'm gonna start working on this pretty much right now, and there's no better way to start than checking up in advance what have they prepared for us for Tomb Raider 5's version of New Game Plus. There is an excellent website, Raiding the Globe, which I always like to check as a preparation for the New Game Plus video, and I don't want to break the tradition, so let me take you guys there right away. Okay guys, so here we are at Raiding the Globe. You can check a New Game Plus guide breakdown of the changes for all the core era remasters so far. And when we start with Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles, unsurprisingly, all the saved games will be named Level Name Plus, as is the tradition at this point. Now, Lara will also wear sunglasses from the start. I'll be toggling these on and off whenever suitable, essentially. That's just ROM levels, come to think about it. Cheats are disabled, we don't care about that, we don't use them. Lara does not have any medipacks in her inventory at the start. This is also sort of a tradition for New Game Plus. Now, small and large medpacks in the levels are replaced with weapon ammo. Honestly, this was more of an interesting change for Tomb Raider 2's New Game Plus difficulty mode. Here, there are in general so few enemies that it's not particularly exciting change, but yeah, it's gonna make getting those medpacks a little bit harder. Lara receives them, 1 large and 2 small medpacks, with each secret golden rose she collects. So this is odd to me because you'd think you need to find levels 3 secrets to get this medpack bundle, but no, just every secret she gets a ton of medpacks. How is this supposed to be challenging? I don't know, but we'll see actually when we play. Lara has all available weapons from the current level, when possible, from the start with 1 box of each type of ammo. This is very important given Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles' way of constantly shifting and changing the weapons loadout. We might actually enjoy Desert Eagle more on New Game Plus. We'll see. Now, enemy health and attack values have been increased. In some cases this is twice, in some even 2.5 times more or 3 times more. It really comes down to how they played around and tweaked every individual enemy and boss. Most enemies and bosses move faster. Remember the roller skating mummies? I'm curious what they prepared for us here. Yeah. Obstacles and traps now deal lethal or nearly lethal damage. Not a huge issue, I think, in Tomb Raider 5. What I'm most concerned about is actually today's Red Alerts levels poisonous gas corridors. We'll see how Lara's body will react to that kind of poisoning on New Game Plus. Red packs also poison Lara, but we know how to completely avoid them, so that's fine. Lara has 20 shaft flares in the deep sea dive level. Didn't she only start with... Wait, I can't remember how many she started with. I'm putting that on the screen now to see if this is less or more than on normal difficulty. I would assume less, since this is supposed to be harder. Imps are also poisonous, which is interesting. They'll be even scarier and we'll need to outrun them more as young Lara. Fun fact... all the med packs that were pickups in the Irish levels are now gone. There are so few pickups, it's essentially just key items now. Those are the only pickups you're gonna find there, and the golden roses, which are gonna give you med packs. So the threat of imps poisoning you is actually very much a real concern, which is interesting. The Will-O-the-Wisp does not exist in the labyrinth. You know that little globe of the light that was guiding you through the labyrinth? You're gonna have to make do without it, which is still very easy, but fine. I appreciate little touch-ups like these. No hammer use in 13th floor. It always crashes when Lara approaches the door and the enemy is triggered. So you cannot stealth through it, you'll be ambushed via that power armor guy. I like this change a lot. Then the sleeping guard wakes up when Lara obtains the high level access card in the 13th floor level. Yeah, a turret dropping on top of our head. This will make collecting the goodies in the side storage kind of a nightmare, because the turret will be there and dealing extra damage. We'll be popping med packs like crazy, even on this New Game Plus difficulty mode in New York levels, unfortunately. Now, even if Lara uses chloroform, so cloth on 2-gun... Oh, the power armors are called 2-guns, interesting. Another 2-gun will appear. This is again 13th floor level issue, where if you take him down stealthily on normal difficulty, his body will not appear. Here, the ensured, he will appear. I'm okay, the in-game skill count is not gonna increase either way, so we might as well use this takedown technique. And the bugs in the 13th floor level are poisonous. So guys, pretty much like a huge chunk of the changes is just for the 13th floor level. In many ways, maybe it will end up being the most difficult New York level. That remains to be seen. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this actually. I've already beaten the New Game Plus difficulty mode once, but this was so long ago I completely forgot how the individual levels are. So in a way this is new to me, but I will be practicing for my recordings on PlayStation 5 and GOG and then record the footage on Steam to unlock the final achievement. And this will be a no commentary silent long play video, just like my previous New Game Plus guides, okay? For these, I think I've said everything I have to say about individual levels in my main Let's Play series. If you'll need some advice that's not clear from the video itself, feel free to then in that video drop me a comment and I will help you, or check out my main Let's Play series video where I might have talked about a particular strategy, though we might have to shift our strategy somewhat for New Game Plus, but I use it as an alternative for people who don't want commentary in their video walkthroughs. That's essentially it. Anywho, this is gonna be a lot of fun to tackle. So guys, that's about it. Now I don't want to prolong this already very long video any further, and I want to say thanks to my patrons, but before I do that, I just want to spend some time briefly talking about what's next. I always like to do this whenever we close a large chapter of the Let's Play series. So now that we've almost wrapped up Tomb Raider 5 Remastered, I'll be working on the New Game Plus video, but there's something exciting I want to tell you. I just, less than an hour ago, came off a recorded call with someone who has made an absolutely terrific impact on the Tomb Raider community. I'm putting their channel icon on the screen. If you know who it is, you know who it is. If you don't, you have to look forward to a chat with an absolutely fantastic person who has made the funniest Tomb Raider retrospective series out there, really. They've been great. And I'll be putting that video of our recorded chat about the future of Tomb Raider, and mostly focusing on the legacy of Atlantis and Catalyst, in the next week and a half, 2 weeks-ish time. We'll see how I'll be doing, because I'll also be alongside that working on the New Game Plus video for Tomb Raider 5, okay? So, New Game Plus is next, chat with a fantastic guest on the show that I don't want to spoil the surprise yet, and also, within the month of May still, I want to release the 6th Gothic Let's Play series episode. This one's not only recorded, but already halfway edited, but I now had to put a pause on that as I'm focusing on editing the chat and today's video and also the New Game Plus video on Tomb Raider 5. Okay, so in the month of May, we're gonna wrap Tomb Raider 5 completely, 6 Gothic episode and also a chat with a fantastic guest in a similar way in how we did a chat with Chris from Raidercast last year. Okay, so just wanted to be transparent about that. And then the month of June will come, and oh boy, I don't know when I'll sleep. On 5th or 6th of June, depending on, I guess, the time zone, Gothic Remake is supposed to release, and I want to be there, I want to cover it. The problem is, on exactly that same date, well, on June 6th, I'll be on a 24-hour-long hike with my girlfriend. We don't know how far we'll make it, but we'll be moving on foot across the country, and then coming back to have a shower and essentially catch a flight to Warsaw in Poland on the next day to attend a Heroes Orchestra concert. These guys are fantastic. If you know the Heroes of Might and Magic series and Might and Magic series in general, they're also making the official soundtrack now for the Olden Era. This is not a sponsorship, guys, I'm just geeking out about an orchestra I've been following for years. We'll be attending their concert and it's gonna be fantastic. And then when I come back, I'll probably need to catch up on some sleep before I'm able to cover the Gothic Remake, so I'll be a couple of days late, unless it becomes accessible on June 5th within relatively reasonable hours before my hike. So it's gonna be an absolutely crazy start to June. Now, what's next Tomb Raider wise? Is it Angel of Darkness Remastered? Well, that was my plan, but a couple of you have reached out saying maybe I should cover the fantastic looking Tomb Raider side-scroller, you know, which looks like a ton of fun, just pure Tomb Raiding action distilled, almost like Guardian of Light or Temple of Osiris. And yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. However, there is a risk, guys. Legacy of Atlantis, we don't know if it's really coming out this year. We've heard rumors it's going to be postponed from Society of Raiders. Then there has been some support development studio saying no, it's coming in 2026. We don't know. But if Legacy of Atlantis is coming out this year, and I also cover in later part of June the Tomb Raider side-scroller, I might not have time to cover Angel of Darkness Remastered at all. It's just not possible. There's so much happening, and I'm gonna have to pick my battles, so to speak. That's without saying I also in summer start working pre-production on my 25 Christmas series videos. It's gonna be a lot. So we'll see whether we are gonna learn anything new about Legacy of Atlantis, and I think if it's gonna be confirmed to be postponed to next year, then I'm gonna cover Tomb Raider side-scroller and Angel of Darkness Remastered. If not, then I might have to prioritize Angel of Darkness Remastered. But ultimately, I'm actually thinking of later on in June doing a poll and let you guys vote and decide what you would like me to cover next. But feel free to already share in the comment section of this video what you would like my area of focus to be. Outside of course, I'm gonna focus on the original Gothic, the Gothic remake, but Tomb Raider wise, whether you'd like me to cover the side-scroller or AOD, which should be the priority before we tackle Legacy of Atlantis. Okay, so yeah, I want to listen to you, my audience for whom I'm doing this, also what you are currently most interested in. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. Anyway guys, thank you again, don't want to prolong the video any further. I'm now gonna say huge, massive thanks to my Patreons and a couple of new faces as well, without whom I would not be able to afford to take the time off to even release today's video when I did. Blangoopel, Mick, Severin Drex, Enstickle, Katie Danger, Poo2, Basic Briny, Bino, and Alex Clark. Thank you guys so much for being my loyal Winstons and for pouring us a toast to absent friends. Next, I would like to say big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Karavetu, Renegade Derny, Blanket Fox, Dig the Bee, PD92, Akires, and Tomino 1553. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel, and also thank you for carefully and gently explaining to Von Croy that he did in fact not find Lara, and we avoided another one of his outbursts. I would also like to give special thanks to my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Paviglianiti, Alexander, and Richard Dearman. Thank you guys so much for your valiant support of the channel, and also thank you for being a key component of Lara's home shooting range throughout the years. Only thanks to the hard practice did she manage to hold her breath, take aim, and beat both VCI firing ranges on her first try. And finally, I would like to give one very, very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and incredibly generous support of the channel, and also thank you for uploading buggy software into both VCI cyborgs. One just wanted to go for a swim, whereas the other just wanted to offer Lara some lounge catering services and get her a glass of wine, champagne and expensive side dishes. She, however, didn't know that and dispatched both of them just to be on the safe side. And on a final note, I'd like to say thanks to my free Patreon members as well as to each and every one of you for making it to the end of this ridiculously long video. I hope you now understand why you had to wait so long, but I hope it was worth it. We've beaten Red Alert without using a medpack, we did a final stats deep dive, and I hope you are as excited as I am about what's to come next. Now guys, one more thing I did not forget about, and that's the credits whenever we beat a Tomb Raider game. So to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm gonna let you enjoy some absolutely fantastic score from the Dark Angel Symphony project. In case you guys are interested in checking out more of their work, I will provide a link in the description below. With that, until I'll see you again in the New Game Plus video and then the next entry in the series, I wanna wish all of you happy raiding.